Hey guys, it's been a while. I'm just going to raw dog this video and keep it real because I know I'm personally sick of all the AI sloppy slop out there and generic messages and not really connecting with people in general and just kind of reading the same bullshit. So I'm back from my new studio in my car. And if you don't know me, I'm Dana and I'm a founder building a media company right now. And this channel will be about what it's like being a solopreneur at the age of 34, doing just that, building his own thing and hopefully providing some sort of value for some other person in this world. I don't want it to be all that boring shit. I want to bring, practical tips, strategies, and just be real, be human, like what it's like being a man at this age trying to really just like achieve his dreams and do something and be free from never really going back to customer service because I'm a stubborn old bastard. And, I just think that we need more human connections. And I'm just coming back to give that to you in a way that isn't overly complicated. And it's just me talking to you and sharing lessons that I've learned along the way. So the reason for my little hiatus here with YouTube is that I was complicating so much. I was using AI to replace my own fucking brain power. I was trying to do a bunch of shorts, be on every channel, have the perfect title, have the perfect thumbnail. And it's just so hard when you're trying to work, you're trying to do content, then you're trying to do different types of content. But the great thing about video and YouTube is that you can't really get like this connection anywhere else. And that's kind of why I started doing this again, because I just felt like this calling after going through some shit in my life lately that I just want to see if I can help other people and kind of build that connection again on YouTube. So earlier in the year, I know we're at the end of the year now, I spent like almost $1,000 for this cohort to learn about newsletters because I really love writing, and newsletters, email, whatever you may think, it's not dead yet. And I learned a lot about this from Matt McGarry, who's grown or helped grow newsletters to millions of dollars, and they're still doing revenue like this to this day. So if you think that's dead, I'm here to prove you wrong. I'm here to show you that you can create a media company around newsletters and content and run your business to sell your services, to sell your products, to sell yourself. Whatever you want to do, I'm telling you, it's still possible. So I'll make sure to give you all the unfiltered insights and where I failed so far and probably going to fail again. But that's a part of being a solopreneur, is that you're willing to face new problems, continuously solve them, and just keep going until you get to where you want to be. And I'm not saying you need to pick a goal and get there like you're saying you want to lose 100 pounds and then you get there and then it's like you still don't really feel fulfilled. So it's about loving the process. So stick with me to see behind the scenes of that process. And if you don't know also, it's like I've done this before, transitioning into design and building a career out of nothing. I never went to college. I'm a product designer now by trade, and I transitioned into design with just figuring out, being scrappy, trying a boot camp, trying online classes, getting mentorships, meeting people along the way that landed and finally got into a career. And I ended up building a totally different life for myself, and I do not want to stop now. And it's hard as shit to find design jobs in general right now, and the economy, tech world it's overwhelming. So that's why I'm continuing to do this and do something that I enjoy, even if it's hard. I just really need to make sure that I'm not overly complicating things. So the actual newsletter and product potion and this brand that I've kind of created, what it's all about, right? Okay. So product potion, like the newsletter itself, I really am centering it around how to stop overcomplicating your product as a founder. How can you simplify your product to actually generate revenue? How can you clear out the clutter? Let's say maybe it could be your onboarding, Maybe it could be features. I've worked with so many founders through the years that just want to add more features and add and add and add and not really know what the works, right? And so that's why I try to root everything in some sort of psychology, behavioral science, and just some general UX practices and make it crystal clear and something that you as a founder can take away that day or that week and actually get it done and make those small changes. Those small changes are going to lead to revenue and conversions. And I really focus on those early moments of the product and addressing those issues in a way that just is hopefully simple and not complicated. But with YouTube, and it still is product potion, right? But this is just more like behind the scenes, raw thoughts. Like, what is it like being a guy my age, trying to date as a solopreneur, trying to survive? Like, what do you do when you don't have money and you have to move back in with family, or you can't afford your apartment anymore? Like, there's so many struggles that people may or may not really talk about. And it's not all this glitz and glamour all the time. And I think people just really need to be raw and real these days, because soon enough, it's all going to be a facade. It's all going to be this generated version that we see on the internet. And it's just like, I believe that people are really going to crave human connections. And I know that I still do, because I'm trapped at home alone half the time with my dog, and I know that I'm not alone in this. And so it'd be nice, if we kind of had a little community to support each other and to pat each other on the back and, just keep going, man. So that's what this is about. It's just being real. I've changed my direction in my newsletter so many times. I'm tweaking little things and all of that, and overcomplicating everything myself. And it's just that natural overthinking side of my brain. And so that's why I'm here to say in this little episode that I'm committing to that one direction I just mentioned to you for at least 3 months. At least give it 3 months to test things, guys. I'm telling you, at least you can test it and get results and gauge feedback instead of tweaking things every week. Man, that is an awful cycle to be in. And so I am pulling myself out and making that commitment. And you guys can cuss me out, yell at me, whatever in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you've done that, because I bet you have. It's easy to do when you don't see things working and you're struggling, and just being a solopreneur on your own, you just don't know all the time. So that's okay. So if you're building a brand or curious about building your own media company, right? I think this really is for the people that are out there alone, trying to do their own thing, trying to just be a human being and survive and get to a life that they've always wanted. I want to get like raw and emotional and talk about the mental battles and more just like what it's like just to be sorry, I gotta watch my cussing for YouTube. What it's like to be just like a human being, man. Oh, whew. God, I'm pumped. I almost want to scream. Stick around for more. I'm glad you're here. I hope there's some subscribers down there that have stuck around or even remember what I used to post and are excited for something new and something fresh and just something real. Peace.